first of all, do you want to weigh in on this? Did the founding fathers actually make statements or any indication that they indeed were working toward abolishing slavery?
Well, no. The compromise was counting blacks, slaves in the South as 3/5 of a person. Right. Well, as a gay American, I sometimes feel like that too, and it's we need to correct this, and we need to correct the facts, and I hope Michele Bachmann will be doing her homework, and she's kind of a phenomena, but I look forward to debating her and some of the others and talking about some of the real issues, particularly jobs, getting oil prices down, education reform, and really getting into the battle on the issues here and what differentiates us from each other.
Let's talk about your efforts to try to change the Republican Party. Have you seen any indications, hopeful indications from your perspective that things are about to change? We just saw this gay marriage ruling in New York. A lot of Republicans are using this as another call for a constitutional amendment to ban gay marriage.
Well, yeah, the Republican Party, and the party platform is just despicable. It's 27 pages of trying to drive people away. But I'll tell you, Rick, I've had an incredible reception. The day before I filed in Washington on March 23rd, the day before that, I met with all the hierarchy, the Republican National Committee in their offices. Reince Priebus, who's the chair, the vice chair, Sharon Day, and then Jeff Larson, who's the chief of staff. All three welcomed me, offered all the facilities of the RNC to me, just like every other candidate. They have been extremely helpful, and so including my staff in any of the meetings with other candidates. So, the parties and the state parties have been very welcoming to me as the first openly gay candidate, and I think it's important that that barrier would be broken by a Republican, because this is the Republican Party of old. So, I'm thrilled. I've been getting a great reception. I've hit a few bumps in the road. I was threatened by the Republican National Committeeman in Iowa, who said he was going to work overtime to stop me, to keep me out of the caucuses there. And, I think he was resoundingly criticized for that.
One quick question. You talk about making the Republican Party more inclusive. Is there somebody else in this field, should you not get the nomination, who you would like to see win it because you think they are the most inclusive of the bunch?
Well, I'm like a lot of the American public. 70% of Republicans are not happy with the current field, and I guess that includes me, but, I'm trying to get known and trying to get out there, and it is. I've called it a pretty mediocre field. It's not great. We're going to have to put a very strong candidate up against Barack Obama. I worked for Ronald Reagan on both his presidential campaigns in 80 and 84. We ran his political action committee. I worked for his inaugural. I'm from California. I think I capture best that Reagan spirit. My theme is bringing back the American spirit of optimism and getting along. And I think someone like me can shake this country up and bring back some enthusiasm and optimism and that can-do spirit that Reagan brought to the U.S. in '81.
All right, Fred Karger, Republican presidential candidate. We'll have you back on as your quest continues. Thanks for being here on Top Line. Really appreciate it.
Thank you both very much.